Hello, friends, and welcome. So we're doing a little bit of rolling out. So you need to have, actually for this one, you're going to want two eventually, but we're going to start with one. They can be tennis balls tied in a sock. Make it super simple. You don't have to make it complex and they don't have to look pretty, right? So we're going to start. We did jaw and the neck in the last video. So if you're like, ooh, I could really use, go back and do that video. It's a pretty short one, right? Now we're going to look a little bit at the upper trap line, the neck to the upper trap, and play with that a little bit. So with just the individual ball, right? Just go ahead and, again, if you don't have a ball, use your hands. You can still get really great stuff, right? But if you have that ball, it might give you just a little bit of extra pressure or pinpoint something a little more, right? Whatever that is to you. And you can play in the same way we did in the last video, where I can, have my ball in an area, and maybe I feel tenderness, and then I can move my head around and move the muscles around that are pinned under that ball. I can also stay fairly still with the body and move the ball. I'm sure I can do a combination thereof, right? So really just letting yourself move from that kind of behind the ear area out towards the shoulder, back again, right? Just taking that. I kind of like this technique. Again, I'm just showing things work for different people, where I start a little further back and I'm just kind of rolling forward up and over my shoulder. I find some good stuff with that often. I wish I did this more often than I did. I'll forget about it for a good long while or get lazy with it. And then I come back and it's like, oh my gosh, that's right. I forgot about how good this is, right? And then bring it around and working on the front. I'd love you to try to get into some of those muscles that run down into and through the clavicle. And I find this one, a good technique is, we've done this before on the neck, right? Where we kind of pull the skin back as we're turning the head the other way. Does that make sense, hopefully? I have my hand supporting my one elbow. You could do it with just your hand or the ball, whatever works, right? And I'm a little lower. I'm not on my neck as much as I'm down through this part, right? Go ahead and take the ball to the other side. And again, just thinking about the main muscle I'm working with from behind the ear down, right, out towards that outer shoulder. And it can be a little forward and a little bit back for sure. But that general area, just play with that a little bit. You could use your hands. The whole point is just to try to see if we can get these muscles to release a little bit, lengthen a little bit potentially. Release tension. Feel free to leave the ball in one area and move around the arm, right? Or the head, or whatever works. Play with it and kind of find out. And for me, it varies from place to place. Sometimes it's more effective to move arms, sometimes it depends on the day. You might start the ball back and roll forward. See if you can't kind of get this line coming up and over, and then moving into that clavicle, right? So again, I'm going to work through that front line. That's all through the front bottom of my neck, shoulder, I'll say, right? Just on top of the clavicle. And you might then use that resistance technique, where we either use our hand or the ball to pull the skin back, and we move the chin in the opposite direction. By the way, this is also good for vagus nerve toning. And so we're playing with toning our vagus nerve with most of what we're doing with this rolling out, by the way, last video and this. I'm not focusing on that, but it's happening. It's great. And then go ahead and bring that down. Take a couple of moments to put that in your sock or whatever you're working with, right? You want them to be able to be taut together so that they don't come apart. I'm going to readjust my camera briefly. Not the best camera work, but that's okay. I just want you to be able to see, so I came a little closer to the mat. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have that on the mat. I'm going to lay down. And if you have a block, a lot of us probably need a block to bring that up, but it's that spot at the base of the neck, right? The occiput. So again, it just depends on your body. If you feel like you're cranking your neck to do that, you could do a book, right? You might be able to do it from the ground and get the amount of pressure you need. I need a block personally. I would actually wish I had something slightly shorter, but this will work. And I'm going to bring it in right at the occiput. And then I'm going to let my head just kind of rest back into this. right? And I'm going to pause. Now, some of y'all, this might feel like plenty. Some of y'all, you might just really gently let your head rock from right to left. And you're not lifting the weight of the skull, right? You're just letting the head just gently move. It might be a really small motion. It might be a little bigger. Again, you do you. Yeah. And then come on back to center. Now we're going to move that block out of the way and put that off to the side. And then go ahead and come down just a little bit lower, more where your C7 is. If you don't know where that is, it's kind of right at the base of the neck and the thoracic spine, the upper back. And actually, I'm going to come a little lower because I'm going to end up rolling out of your sideline otherwise, right? So you don't necessarily have to move, but I'm going to. And I'm just going to pause right there. And I'm going to go ahead and give myself a hug, right? And it could just be moving the arms around. You could stay in the hug, and then I bring the other arm on top, but trying to get the top of that upper trapezius just a little bit. And then I'm going to roll myself. I push into my feet, I lift my hips, and I roll up just a little bit. And we could sit here and do this all day. I encourage you to do this if you're liking this work. Just turn off my video and just do your thing, right? But otherwise, we're just going to go ahead and you can play with moving the arms around just a little bit, just getting some of that musculature. And let's do one more stop, just one more. So I'm going to roll up a little bit. I'm still top to mid shoulder blade. I'm not very low on my body right now. I'm really trying to isolate more towards that upper trapezius muscle and get into there. Right. And again, if you find another method and you want to like sway your knees from side to side, and that gets good stuff, and the hands stay still, or play. Right. You might just rock a little bit. I find when I get the ball to a certain point underneath me, I can kind of move my upper body a little bit back and forth in a rocking motion. You could hold yourself, or arms could be down. And then go ahead and lift yourself. Move if you need to get the balls out of there. And then go ahead and lay back down and just pause for just a couple moments. We won't be here long. But again, with your eyes closed, right, just notice any sensation happening anywhere in the body, but particularly in those areas we just rolled out. And we're just going to say namaste from here. I'm hoping you're going to stay here for a little bit and either keep rolling out or just be in Shavasana for a while. Namaste, friends.